from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Kasani Balachandra Adhikari. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Election campaigning ends tonight. A decisive discussion on how to take the country out of bankruptcy to be held tomorrow. The president says all other countries will help Sri Lanka that comes out of bankruptcy. Sajith Premadasa pledges to provide a salary to preschool teachers and to provide children free education. Anura Kumara pledges to introduce a new political culture after the 21st of this month. Namal Rajapaksa promises to protect the well-being of the future generation. Mahasangha says only leaders with experience can save the country from a crisis. School uniform material will be delivered before the new school term.
We move on to those and other stories in detail, and in your top local story tonight, all propaganda activities relating to the presidential election will end by midnight tonight.
Addressing a media briefing held in Colombo today, the Election Commissioner General Samashri Ratnayaka said that all campaigning activity have been banned from midnight today to the 21st of this month. Election Commissioner General Samashri Ratnayaka said that no election campaigning activity can be carried after midnight today. He said that this is the stipulated law in the country and all agencies are liable to uphold these regulations. He said that all media outlets, including social media, are requested to adhere to the imposed regulations. He said that the media coverage on all May final rallies of the candidates can be broadcasted until the midnight tomorrow, and media coverage should end with the midday bulletins. Accordingly, he said, Labour Ministry Secretary has also been requested to inform the public and private sector institutions to grant the necessary leave for the employees to visit their respective hometowns to cast their votes, upholding the fundamental rights of the people.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that Sri Lanka will come out of bankruptcy after the discussions to be held tomorrow with international sovereign bond holders. He said accordingly he contests the presidential election as a leader who achieved the responsibility given by the people 2 years ago. The president made these comments at a public rally titled Ranil Can, held in Galle Samananda grounds this evening.
නිදහස් විමත් අපට පුළුවන් මේ රට හදන්න නිවහල් රටක් නිදහස් විමත් අපට පුළුවන් මේ රට හදන්න පුළුවන් ශ්‍රී ලංකා උරුමයි මව් ලංකා පුළුවන් ශ්‍රී ලංකා උරුමයි මව් ලංකා.
Former Minister Manush Nanakada said that some proclaim that the North favours the President, the East supports him and the ethnic communities are on his side. And what then about the South? The individuals gathered here today have demonstrated their determination to ensure that President Ranil Wickremesinghe secures a win from the Galle district in the southern province. Governor of Eastern Province Senthil Thondaman said that people in North, West, East and South have shown their confidence over the President. Parliamentarian Vajra Abeyewardene inquired whether Sajith Premadasa could run the government. He said that during the previous election they managed to win the Galle town with over 5,000 votes. However, he said that Sajith Premadasa lost in Tissa Maharame by 75,000 votes. Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathirana said that Galle requires a complete tourist harbour. He requested the President to fulfil this requirement after winning the election. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that a crucial discussion between the government of Sri Lanka and international sovereign bond holders will take place tomorrow. He said that following this meeting, Sri Lanka is expected to receive international support once the country's bankruptcy is fully resolved. Anura Kumara has acknowledged that the economy grew under my leadership and suggested that our system is effective, he said. He also said that if this is the case, why hand over the country to someone who admits they cannot continue the work? He said that Anura Kumara claims that he will abandon the country if he fails in a year and a half, shows he is not equipped to lead us forward.
එයාට දීලා වැඩක් නැහැ නේ මං ඒක කරලා දෙන්නම්. කිව්වා අවුරුදු එකමාරක් කළා බැරි නම් දීලා යනවා කියලා. මං අහන්නේ අවුරුදු එකමාරක් කොහොමද කරන්නේ? යන්නේ මේක කරන්න බෑ කියනවා. ඒගොල්ලොන්ට බෑ මේ ප්‍රශ්න තව උග්‍ර කරනවා මිස විසඳන්නේ නැහැ.
Another rally of Ranil Can was held at the Uyanvatta grounds in Batra this evening.
අපට පුළුවන් මේ රට හදන්න නිවහල් රටක් නිදහස් විමත් අපිට පුළුවන් මේ රට හදන්න පුළුවන් ශ්‍රී ලංකා උරුමයි නව ලංකා.
Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe won 14 districts thus far, which includes Batra district. Chief of the Presidential Staff and Senior Advisor to the President on National Security Sagla Ratnayaka said that the country has now become much stable. Former parliamentarian Thalathathu Kurala said that within the SGP, internal strife is visible. When one member steps on stage, the other steps down, and several parliamentarians have boycotted their events. She added that a country cannot progress with such a divided group. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that at the beginning of this presidential campaign, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna had held a meeting right at this ground. He said that 2 weeks ago, the Samagijana Balavegya also held a meeting at the same location. However, he said that neither of those parties could fill even half of this venue. Today, no one has been brought in from outside Mathura district for this rally.
ගාල්ලෙන් හම්බන්තොටින් විවිධ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක වලින් බස් රථ ගෙනල්ලා ජනතාව ගෙනල්ලා මේ රැස්වුම් භූමියේ අඩක් විතර පුරවලා තමයි ඕන් කිව්වේ ඕන් පිටිපස්සේ බලවේගයක් තියෙනවා මාතර කියලා. අද අපි කියනවා මාතර දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ මේ උයන්වත්ත පවත්වන රැස්වීමට මාතර දිස්ත්‍රික්කෙන් පිට කිසිදු පුද්ගලයෙක් සහභාගී වෙලා නැහැ. නමුත් මේ රැස්වීම දෙකටම වැඩිය දෙගුණයක් තුන්ගුණයක් ජනතාව එකතු වෙලා
Presidential candidate of the Samagijana Balavegya, Sajith Premadasa, says that free education will be given to preschool children and salary will be paid to preschool teachers. He made these remarks joining a public rally held in Monragala today. This rally was organized by Jana Balavegya to ensure the victory of presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa. Political representatives of the area and large number of party supporters were present on this occasion.
Jaya Jaya Veva Samatama Satara
Former parliamentarian Wickremesinghe said that JP was told of crop of lies and make this an election in the Facebook. However, overnight, million people in Jaffna in the north, east, south and west from all communities and regions will vote for Sajith Premadasa on the 21st of this month. He said that Samagijana Balavegya invites you to become a part of this new SJP government. Parliamentarian Ranjit Madhum Bandara said that Sajith Premadasa displayed his ability by providing smart classes and buses to schools. He said that when he comes to power on the 21st, he will create a generation of students who can compete with the cutting-edge technology of other countries. He said that we asked the parents whether to provide digital education to their children or give 5 classes of the JEP and guns to the hands of their children, adding that parents should protect their children from violence. He said that Namal Rajapaksa government acquired lands of farmers who cultivated maize, watermelon, pumpkins and other crops, further saying that after the 21st of this month, we will give the rights of the lands back to the people. Parliamentarian Harshadi Silva said that they developed paddy cultivation and introduced Shakti rice to corporate systems, adding that the new system of storage of agricultural crops will be introduced. He said that empowering the housewife of the family and allowance will be given to each housewife for a period of 24 months, and added that during this period the government will help them to alleviate their poverty, and that the SJB has an efficient program to increase the income of people in the Monragala district.
අපිට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ මොන රාගල මිනිස්සුන්ව දරිද්‍රතාවයෙන් ගොඩ අරගෙන ඔවුනුත් සමාජයේ වග කියන සතුටින් ජීවත් වෙන සමාජයක් නිර්මාණය කරන්න.
Presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa said that they start educational reforms from the preschool in the rural and urban areas. He said that preschool education is confirmed to provide free of charge and that monthly salary will be paid to preschool teachers and that 1 million young people will provide the opportunity to become new entrepreneurs. He said that Ranil, Wickremesinghe and Anura Kumara group is looking to sell the lands in Palvatta and Savanagala areas. He said that SJB will never auction the national assets. He said that the enterprises in these areas will be made profitable by investing new capital. And he further said that the SJB will promise the people in Uva Valavasa area not to auction their lands. Another public rally organised by the Homagama was held in Ambilipitia today under the patronage of presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa. Senior representatives of the party of supporters and many others were present on this occasion. Presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa said that the SJB will solve their land problems. He said the problems in the Mahavali areas will be definitely solved and added that the program to provide freehold deeds will be expedited and that the rands of the mine labourers to the mine owners, businessmen and industrials will be ensured. He said that the gem and jewellery industry will be given concessions and reduced tax. He further said that all unnecessary rules and red tapes will be soon removed.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara, says that new political culture will be established in the country after the 21st of this month. He made these remarks addressing a public rally held in Kalathara today. 3 public rallies to secure the victory of National People's Power were held in Kalathara, Gampaha and Nugegoda today. Addressing the Kalathara rally, presidential candidate Anura Kumara said that a huge crowd of people have rallied around their party with a future aspiration and innovative hopes. Presidential candidate Anura Kumara said that people are rallying around the National People's Power not out of hatred or division, but with the hope for a positive future. People who are eyeing for a victory has an aspiration, a hope and the dream of their future. He said that millions of people have gathered around them to fulfill their aspiration for a positive tomorrow. They will create a new political change in the country, and he said that the National People's Power government will achieve this objective and they will not tolerate any racism or religious discrimination in the country, and only the aspirations of nation's peace and harmony will be taken into consideration.
අපේ රටේ කිසිදු තැනක ජාතිවාදයට ආගම්වාදයට අපි ඉඩ දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ලංකාවේ ඇතිවිය හැකි වන්නේ ජාතික සමගිය පිළිබඳ අපේක්ෂාවන් විතරයි.
National People's Power member Nilanthikotahachi urged the nation to place their trust and confidence on the leadership which would fulfill their future aspirations of the masses. She said that they will make Anura Kumara the next leader of this country.
අපි මේ රට බාර දෙමු. අනුර සහෝදරයා අපි ඔබව ජනාධිපති පුටුවේ ඉන්දනවාමයි. සහෝදරයාට මාලිමාවට මාතෘ භූමියට සියලුම රටවැසියන්ට ජය වේවා.
මේ හැමදෙනාම එකතු වෙලා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ.
Former parliamentarian Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the people in the country is looking ahead for a transformation and they have a massive hope in this regard. The opportunity to fulfill their aspirations will be given to the people on the election day. A new political chapter will begin from the 22nd, and he said that following the election, the parliament will be dissolved. He said that the general elections will be held in November before the advanced level examination. A new parliament will be established to form a government, a new government on a fresh country to start their new political journey. Meanwhile, a large crowd gathered at the final rally of National People's Power held in Gampaha. Parliamentarian Vijitha Herath said that they are open for discussions and to proceed with the existing conditions. He said that the IMF delegate head Peter Brow said that after the presidential election, the discussion will be held to talk about the agreement and to proceed further. Presidential candidate Anura Kumara said that the economy has collapsed and internationally the country is abandoned. The democracy has been challenged at present. He said that all pillars of governance have been collapsed.
A public rally to ensure the victory of the independent presidential candidate Ranil Wickremesinghe was held in Kaluthara under the title of Ranil Can. Minister Prasanna Ranil said that there was no sufficient fund to allocate $20 billion for the purchasing of fuel. However, he said that now the country has a reserve of $7 billion. He said as the presidential games, they have crossed the halfway of the Wine Bridge. However, that if they try to make changes halfway point, the entire bridge will collapse. Parliamentarian Dr. Rajasenaratne urged the people to consider whom they wish to entrust the country once again to the leaders of the previous track records are known. He said that the sweeping leadership alone cannot fix the economy, and he said that to look at the global examples. Minister Ali Sabri said that JVP has claimed that the competition is between them and the SJB, which is a balanced lie. He said the true competition is between the president and the JVP. Venerable Dodampaha Sri Rahula Thera said that these groups are striving to create a society devoid of religion and establish a purely secular community. Thera said that in 88-89 they were at the university and we will all remember the suffering experienced by the people during that time. The Thera said that currently the individuals are making threats by visiting houses to house and they are able to threaten the people to vote to them, stating they will be closely monitoring. The Thera said, we also remember during their tenure, 1,306 monks were killed. The Thera said it is clear that President Ranil Wickremesinghe's vision is well defined and his plans are transparent. The Thera said, therefore, he appealed to the people to lend their support to the capable team to lead the country forward. Parliamentarian Rohita Begunwardena said that when President Ranil Wickremesinghe assumed office as Prime Minister, the country was in dire crisis. He said that during this time protesters even set fire to young private residents, and he said once home was burning, he should work to extinguish the larger national crisis. He said that they held a great respect for him even then. He said that they understood he was not someone who abandons the people in times of distress. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that Sajith Premadasa was invited to a television program yesterday to discuss his plans but did not show up. He said that we can entrust the country to someone who cannot clearly present their vision to the public. He said that Sajith and Anura have demonstrated that they are not capable of leading the country forward. He said that therefore the choice is clear. People must decide whether to advance the nation or revert the status quo of 2022. Another rally of Running Can was held in Homagama town this evening under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena inquired from Anura Kumara on how he is attempting to pass laws and regulations in Parliament without setting the Constitution aside. He said that Anura Kumara will never get the opportunity to pass any bill or regulation in the Parliament. Minister Bandurgaradana urged the people to place their confidence in the President to bring the new change in the country, ensuring the next generation to live in peace. He urged the PF supporters in Homagama to make the President victorious with a majority of more than 150,000 votes.
President
Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the next generation will be handed over to a strong country. He said by 2050, the next generation will be able to live in a developed country. The President added that the government and MPs have committed to this task and said that they set aside political differences and joined hands for the common good. He said that Anura Kumara has accepted the IMF deal required at present. Therefore, he said there is no necessity for him to compete in this election. He said that they will send Anura Kumara with the delegation to the talks. He said that Sajith Premadasa has no knowledge of International Monetary Fund. He questioned how he is going to govern the country without such knowledge and said he even saved his father from no confidence. He reminded that the UNP supporters holds a party along with UNP senior leaders and there is no other United National Party. He said that the SJB is a separate party.
Presidential candidate of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Namal Rajapaksa, says that if their team takes a decision, it will be with the good intention of securing the tomorrow of the future generation and of the country. He made his remarks participating at a public rally held in Homagama this morning. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, party representatives and others were present at this occasion. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa said that despite what others have to say, the development activities including expressways were carried out under their government. Therefore, he urged people to vote for Namal Rajapaksa to continue the development work. Former State Minister D.V. Janaka said that Namal Rajapaksa competed with Sajith Premadasa in Hambantota district. He said that before Namal Rajapaksa contested from Hambantota, Homagama Balavega managed to gain 2 seats and JVP had only 1 seat. After Namal Rajapaksa contested from Hambantota, SJB seats reduced to 1 and JVP lost their only seat. Presidential candidate Namal Rajapaksa said that their political campaign was initiated 5 weeks ago. He said that they have not spent more than billions on their pre-election campaign. He said that the message of this 5-week campaign is to indicate that they are to march forward with the victorious journey as a powerful movement. Parliamentarian W.T. Wickremesinghe said that the JVP is only capable of destroying public assets and looting personal assets and now trying to catch thieves. Looting became a habit after JVP's engagement, even though talks about 75 years of curse was also part of this problem. JVP previously supported former President Chandrika Bandana Kumaratunga, Mahinda Rajapaksa and Ranil Wickremesinghe. JVP was in the parliament and even obtained their salaries and other benefits. JVP started the militant movement in the country with the assault of the Wellawaya police on April 1st, 1971 and subsequently attacked the police and army camps. Today, war veterans are participating in JVP War Veterans Summit. He even said that women are rallying around JVP even though women were brutally assaulted by the JVP for merely switching on a light to feed their children during terror period. He said that religious leaders were also attacked during that time.
ස්විච් එක දැම්මම අම්මගේ පියවරුව කපාගෙන ගිය කවුද? JVP කාර්යෝ. තමන්ගේ මතයට අවනත නොවිච්ච පන්සලේ නායක හාදුරට වෙඩි තියලා ඝාතනය කරේ කවුද? JVP කාර්යෝ. තමන්ගේ මතයට අවනත නොවිච්ච ගුරුවරයාට වෙඩි තියලා මැරුවේ කවුද? JVP කාර්යෝ. තමන්ට අවනත නොවිච්ච මගේ තාත්තා වගේ මේ රටේ දහස් ගණන් මිනිස්සු වෙඩි තියලා මැරුවේ JVP කාර්යෝ.
A member of the Vijitapura Women's Organization of the Homagama Balavega had been critically injured by an assault by an alleged to be waged by some activists of the National People's Power. Our correspondent says she is receiving treatment at the Anura Kumara Teaching Hospital at present. The victim has been identified as a treasurer of the Vijitapura Women's Organization of the Homagama Balavega. She said she was staying at home with her child last night. 2 males and several females have come to her house and had assaulted her. Then she was admitted to the Kalababa Hospital and later transferred to the Anura Kumara District Hospital for further treatment. Meanwhile, Anura Kumara District Parliamentarian of the Homagama Balavega, Rohana Bandara, went to Anura Kumara Teaching Hospital to visit the victim.
The Mahasangha says that only leaders with experience are able to save a nation that has faced a crisis. They said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who bravely accepted the responsibility of the country at the time of crisis, have become popular amongst the general public. Mahasangha made these remarks following a period chanting held yesterday to invoke blessings to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the President's official residence. Mahanayaka Thera of the Koti chapter, Most Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera, Anunayaka of the Malwatha chapter, Venerable Niyangoda Vijittasiri Thera, Anunayaka of the Askariya chapter, Venerable Vendaruwe Upali Thera, and Nayaka Theras of Mahasangha were present at this occasion. Delivering an Anusasana after the period chanting, Venerable Niyangoda Vijittasiri Thera said that the President's braveness to accept the country at the time of crisis and the program he implemented to save the country are well accepted both by the Mahasangha and the general public. Deputy Chief Prelate of the Malwatha chapter, Most Venerable Niyangoda Vijittasiri Thera, said that the President has alleviated many of the hardships facing the country and garnered both national and international support, moving the nation forward. Chief Incumbent of Hunupitiya Gangarama Temple, Venerable Dr. Girinde Asajithera, said it is important to recognize that there are still underlying issues that could resurface if we become complacent. The Thera said that to ensure continued progress, it is crucial for those who care about the country to support and sustain these efforts for a few more years, thereby solidifying the economy. The Thera said, we believe that stabilizing the future of our country is essential, and the individual elected in this election should not only work to advance the nation, but also uphold and protect the country's religious and cultural heritage, driving the country towards further positive development.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා සම්බන්ධයෙන් මහ ජනතාවට පූජනීය මහා සංඝරත්නයට පැහැදීමක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ සඳහා අවශ්‍ය ආශිර්වාදය පූජනීය මහා සංඝරත්නයෙන් නොයඩුව ලැබෙනවා.
Mahasangha said that the manifestos of other candidates have not prioritized religion and these should be highlighted. The President said that Sajith had only 2 sections on religion. Mahasangha said that everyone is acting on their whims since the country was freed by President. If not, they would still be hiding under their beds. The Minister of Education says that school uniform materials will be delivered to students before the new school term of 2025. The entire stock of uniform materials requested for students will be donated to Sri Lanka by the Chinese government. China will make this donation in response to a discussion held between Minister Dr. Sajith Premadasa and the Chinese government. Accordingly, uniform materials for 4.3 million school students and student bhikkhus in 825 Pirivanas will receive uniform materials. The first stock of uniforms will come to Sri Lanka on the 13th of November. The second and third stocks will be dispatched on the 21st of September and the 20th of December respectively. The Minister of Education says, therefore, it can save a sum of 70 billion rupees. The uniform materials are scheduled to be distributed among students before the new school term, which will start on the 20th of January 2025.
Presidential candidate Dilip Jayavira says that he will take measures to increase the income of family up to 100,000 rupees within 1 year once he becomes president. He made these remarks participating in a public meeting held in Kandy yesterday. The Liabala Samaluva, organised by the Sarva Janabal Party, was held at the Sahas Uyane in Kandy. Presidential candidate Dilip Jayavira said that the income of family will be increased up to 100,000 rupees within a period of 1 year. He said that these are not election promises. He said that in the past, people used to vote for certain benefits or reliefs. However, he said that never changed and the political landscape of the country or shaped the future of the next generation. He added that the future of the next generation has to be protected. Therefore, he urged people to vote for him to bring the needful change in the country, further requesting to put a cross in front of the star in the ballot paper and become a star.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ දේශපාලනයේ වෙන්න ඕන නිසා සහෝදරයනි විදියක් වෙන්න ඔබට ආරාධනා කරනවා අර පෙට්ටිය ඇතුළට ගියාම ඒ නිදහස් සුන්දර බව ජීවිතේ කලාතුරකින් ලැබෙන්නේ පෙට්ටිය ඇතුළට ගියා ගත්ත පැන්සන දානනියක තියෙනවා දරුවෝ මම නෙමෙයි දරුවෝ ඔබයි දරුවෝ අන්න ඒ දරුවෝ ඔබයි දරුවෝ මේ දරුවයි දරුවෝ ගහන්න කදිරේ ගේසේ කදිරේ
Political representatives say that President Ranil Wickremesinghe has received a higher public consent, defeating all presidential candidates. They expressed their views in this connection at several media briefings held today. Professor Shumat Singh has said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe is the only leader with confidence to provide solutions for the issues of the country. Minister Sajith Premadasa said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe is currently at the top with a high percentage against all other candidates. Minister Jeevan Thundaman said that the estate workers faced many issues in the last 3 years, including the salary issue. However, he said that the President extended solutions for these issues.
Parliamentarian S.M. Marikar says that Sajith Premadasa acts according to the requirements of the party. He made these remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo today. Parliamentarian S.M. Marikar said that there are various rumours over the absence of the presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa for a national television program. He said that Sajith Premadasa and the party will act according to the requirements of the party. When talking about the 76 years of curse, he said that JP held 739 MP seats and 4 ministerial positions in Chandrika government, left the position vacant 1.5 years later. He said that the same individuals have claimed that they will not hesitate to withdraw if they are unable to run the government. He said there is a possibility that JVP to run the negative campaigns to hurl mud at the SJB.
The lawyers of the National People's Power Organisation request the public not to be misled by rumours spread against MPP by various elements. They made this request at a media briefing held today. Attorney at Law Upul Kumara Perum of the National People's Power Lawyers Organisation said that no one should be misled by rumours. He said that the National People's Power takes all decisions according to provisions of the Constitution. Under the NPP rule, no action would be taken detrimental to law. He said that no profession will also be discriminated. Attorney at Law J.M. Vijay Bandara of the National People's Power Lawyers Organisation said that their political opponents who are unable to come forward to rationally criticise their NPP policies are now attempting to sling mud at them.
මේ අවස්ථාවේ විවිධ සිදු නොවිය හැකි මඩ ප්‍රචාරයක් ගෙන යනවා.
Attorney at Law Jayant Dehayatage of the National People's Power Lawyers Organisation said that all the people should think about candidates who can achieve the economic, political and social changes that are expected by the people at this moment. Attorney at Law Anura Kumara of the National People's Power Lawyers Organisation said that if the majority of people demand a change, a major responsibility of this change would be both winners and losers to join together after the election to steer the country forward.
Presidential candidate Nuwan Bopake says that only a set of proposals to remove the IMF agenda is a proposal of the Janara Galaya Alliance. He made these remarks at a campaign meeting. Presidential candidate Nuwan Bopake said that the leading 3 candidates of the election, President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Sajith Premadasa and Anura Kumara are ready to fulfill any conditions posed by the IMF for a mere 1 billion. However, he said that the state workers community and the other affiliated social groups which bring about 4 billion to the economy have been neglected by the 3 candidates. He said that they will not allow the government to push down the agenda of the workers community in the country before the IMF agenda. He said the only policy statement which is proposing to withdraw from the IMF deal and represent the workers is the Janara Galaya manifesto. He said that the president will promise to extend 1,700 rupees for the state workers, and Anura Kumara will only act according to the whims of the factory owners and not represent the community. He said that they are the only ones loyal to the community and work in favour of them.
Presidential candidate Namal Rajapaksa questions why the elements who have evaded accepting the responsibility of the country when they were invited to accept the country when it was economically collapsed. Now that they have come forward to accept the country once its economy has stabilized. He raised this question addressing a public meeting held in Polonnaruwa yesterday. Presidential candidate Namal Rajapaksa said that the previous leaders managed to take power through Buddha's preaching but never fulfilled their duties adequately, leading to the collapse of the nation. For the first time since the independence, the country is heading for an election to elect the next president to lead a bankrupt nation. He said that they knew about this economic collapse in 2022 and that certain segments also make allegations against him for being a part of this government which led to the bankruptcy. He accepts the responsibility, unlike those who shied away from taking up the responsibility during the crisis. He questioned why these entities are attempting to seize the power now when they rejected to take up the responsibility when it truly mattered.
රට වැටිච්ච වෙලාවේ රට බන්දේසියක තියලා බාර දුන්න මෙපෙයි කියලා ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරන මිනිස්සුන්ට මොකද්ද තියෙන අයිතිය ඡන්දයක් ඉල්ලන්නේ රට වැටිච්ච වෙලාවේ රට එපා නම් අපි රට ටිකක් හැදුවට පස්සේ මොකටද රට ඕන වෙන්නේ එහෙම ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා.
Foreign news on the other side of this break.
Prima Kutumi Pantamai.
And in your foreign news tonight, more blasts are being reported in Lebanon a day after exploding pagers killed 12 and injured thousands across the country. More than 100 have been wounded in the last wave of walkie-talkie blasts in Lebanon, the health minister says, as quoted by AFP news agency. One source tells Reuters that handheld radios bought 5 months ago by Hezbollah have been targeted. At least 3 people are reported dead in the latest attacks, with hundreds injured, many with wounds to the stomach and hands. Meanwhile, Lebanon state-run national news agency reports that old pagers exploded inside homes in the southern suburbs of Beirut and southern Lebanon. A number of wounded people had been transferred to hospitals in the capital and in Baalbek, which is in the Bekaa Valley. One reporter said 2 people were injured after a device exploded on a road in the village of Al-Harinani in the central Bekaa. Another said a page exploded inside a car near a cemetery in Deidet in the southern Bekaa. Hezbollah said it had carried out a rocket attack on an Israeli artillery position, the first cross-border fire between the two sides since the pager blasts in Lebanon yesterday.
Was looking at his when suddenly
introducing Prima Kutumi Korean ramen. Let's fire it up.